his grip is warm and firm around my work glove, I can also be warm and firm around him too. Hello, and welcome to Watch the Road. This is a Yandere horror dating sim in which you pick up a hitchhiker one night. Unfortunately, your kindness may have just caused you to make the worst mistake. Let's get started. The dev does mention most of the scarier stuff will be in like the latest updates, but for now, I'm just interested in getting to know this new kitty. After high school, I pictured a different life for myself, somewhere far, far away from the dingy trailer park I grew up in a huge city. Maybe, or even the lovely countryside. But college didn't go the way I planned. 2 horrible semesters and my scholarship was revoked. Just like that, I was back where I started. Living at home was hell. I didn't last long. With what little money I'd saved, I found a tiny apartment and a job. Not exactly my dream gig, but it was offered to me easily because of an old friend. Commercial truck driving. Woo. It's been a few years and it's way lonelier than I had expected. Because of how busy I am, I've become distant with, well, everything. My friends, family, and even myself. At least I'm making ends meet for now. I had a couple of close calls in the beginning. Bad weather for starters, and then there were evil drivers. Horrific traffic, and God, the list could go on and on. But I'm used to it now. Mostly. My sleep schedule may be whack and my spine's beginning to hate me, but I make it work. Still, there are nights where I feel a bit off kilter. Tonight's one of those nights. Name is Yinny. Confirm. Alright, Yinny. Keep your eyes on the road. I nudge the side mirror with the tap of a button, taking a glance at the endless darkness reflecting on it. It looks eerie to say the least. Jeez. It doesn't help that the snow is picking up, fat wet flakes splat against the windshield, momentarily obscuring my view. The flurries, paired with my drowsiness, is a hellish combo. I crank the wipers up a notch. I need to find a gas station soon. Getting coffee that isn't lukewarm would be nice. A sudden movement in my headlights makes me jump in my seat. Was that a deer? I feel like we're about to encounter something scary and it better not be a monster. Through the swirling, disorienting snow, I see something that shouldn't be there. No! I'm scared. What if it's a heebie-jeebie? Something or someone by the side of the road next to a weathered mile marker sign. Okay, looks friendly. It's a young man. He's got his thumb out, arm extended hopefully into the air. The hell? My first thought is that I must be daydreaming. But I run my eyes quickly and lo and behold, he's still there. Who in their right mind hitchhikes out here? In this weather, hitchhiking has always been something that scared the crap out of me. Cause how are you standing on like a deserted stretch of road, just waiting and hoping that the person who picks you up isn't some kind of serial killer? A part of me knows that this is obviously suspicious and that I should stay away. Another weary, miserable part sees someone worse off than me. Slow down, he looks like he's freezing. Keep driving. We'll slow down, then we'll do all the other options at the end. Oh God, this is so stupid. There's a plethora of wrong things that could happen, but I can't leave someone out there like this. We absolutely could, says the person who was the one who made the decision in the first place, aka me. It goes against every moral bone in my body, and I hope he'll put his bone in my body later, if you know what I mean. What if he freezes overnight? Like that little match girl story. Ugh, morbid. I ease my foot off the gas, and the heavy box truck sighs as it loses momentum. I pull the rig onto the shoulder, a safe distance ahead of the person. The massive tires crunch on the icy gravel. He starts walking towards the passenger side door, a dazzlingly bright smile somehow lining up his face despite the bitter cold and the terrible situation he's in. I can't help but notice how he jogs the last few steps, eager to escape the wind. As he gets closer, I roll the passenger window down a crack. A blast of frigid air hits me square in the face and I almost regret it listening to my impulse. Oh, he's cute. I can get a better look at him now. He's in his early 20s at most, with freckles that stand out against his pale skin. Snowflakes cling to his scruffy hair and eyelashes, and his nose is practically Rudolph red at this point. He's tall, even from my perch on the truck cab, though I own a smaller truck, so I suppose it's not a huge deal, but he still has to lean down a bit to peer inside the narrow gap of the open window. Thank you so much for stopping. Seriously, you're a lifesaver. His voice is clear and friendly, though a little breathless. But what the hell are you doing out here? The question is blunt and probably not the most welcoming, but honestly, it's the first thing that comes to mind. My eyes closed, jeans and a thin-looking jacket that wouldn't hold up against the weather for long. He's not wearing a hat or gloves from what I can see. I feel a sudden surge of irritation and have to swallow the instinct of lecturing a random stranger. Doesn't he have any sense? At least put on some gloves. He rubs his arms briskly. Yeah, so my car kinda gave up the ghost back there about maybe 3 miles back. Just completely sputtered out, and naturally, there's absolutely zero signal out here. I've been wandering around for a while now, hoping someone would pass by. I didn't see anything earlier, must have been zoning out. Or He's lying and your Dunyan rings. My trusty flip phone decided to bite the dust about 5 minutes ago too. You have no idea how incredibly grateful I am that you actually pulled over. He shifts his weight from one foot to the other on the ground, looking a little anxious now that he's finished his explanation. I was traveling to see my folks up in Oakhaven. It's winter break and my mom has been telling me to visit for a while now, so I figured I'd go. I am cautiously. Oakhaven? That's about an hour and a half from here. I know. It's really unfortunate that the car went bust so quickly. Are you alone? Yeah, it's just me. He meets my gaze directly, and for a brief moment, his eyes. I can't quite make out the color, but I can make out with him later. But they seem surprisingly intense and hold mine before softening once again. Promise I'm no trouble. All I need is a ride there. I can pay for gas if you want. Oh, ask more questions. Hold on a sec. Alright, let's back up a minute. Where exactly did your car break down and what kind of car is it? Back near the, I think it was mile marker 82, maybe 83. He rubs the back of his neck in contemplation. It's an old sedan, blue one. Kinda beat up, honestly. Probably should have seen it coming. It made this awful clunking noise and then everything just died. Lights, engine, everything. Tried to get it started again, but no luck. Okay, and you didn't have an emergency kit? Flares? A blanket or anything in there? My voice softened slightly as I pictured him huddled alone in a dead car. It must have been terrifying for him. Yeah, I don't think so. He looks even more embarrassed now, stuffing his hands into his jacket pocket. It was my older brother's car. I've been borrowing it. Probably should have checked for that stuff in hindsight, hey? He gives a small self-deprecating laugh and I can't help but agree. Mile marker 82, that was a few miles back. Not that far, but it's far enough to walk in this. Maybe he panicked. Still, it feels weird. Why wouldn't he stay with the car? Especially if it's his brother's. Surely he needs it back. Wouldn't he want to stay put and protected in case it gets towed? Radio it in? Too risky. Ooh, what if I radio it in? What happens then? Tell you what, I lean in as close as I can to the open window as far as my seatbelt allows. I manage to keep my voice low, feeling as if I'm making a difficult business negotiation in a spy movie. I can't give you a ride. Company rules are pretty strict about passengers. But when I get back to the cell service or hit the next truck stop with a working radio, I can call dispatch for you. Have them send someone out to check on your car and maybe get you a tow or ride. Hold yourself up back in the car and keep warm as best as you can. The worst of the snow should end in a few hours anyway. How's that sound? It feels incredibly unfair to offer such limited help when I'm sitting in a warm, empty truck. But I really can't take any risk right now. This job's my livelihood after all. A tense, heavy silence falls between us. Oh, okay. The hope drains from his features completely. His smile vanishes, replaced by a look of pure disappointment that stings to see. His tone also does a complete 180, flattening out and devoid of the energy earlier. I'm almost startled by the sudden change in his demeanor. Thanks. Marker 82 blue sedan. Guess I should make my way back there then. Stay safe out there. I feel terribly awkward. I roll the window back up and watch as he turns and begins walking back the way he came, before I pull back onto the road, leaving him behind. It takes a good 30 minutes for the desolate landscape to give way. The radio crackles to life. It's finally back in signal range. Right. Better call this in. Dispatch? This is Uni, Rig 7B. I got a situation out on something or other, mile marker 82, maybe 83? Saw a young guy who looked stranded. He said his blue sedan broke down there. I couldn't pick him up, but he's out there in the snow, thought you guys should know. Could you send someone to check it out? A voice crackles back over the radio. Copy that, Rig 7B. We'll send a unit to investigate mile 82 to 83 for a stranded vehicle in person. Stay safe out there. 10-4, dispatch, Rig 7B clear. I mean, that's the right call though. Because I read some things that long distance truck driving is actually incredibly dangerous. Because one, you're usually by yourself along big stretches of road. And you really can't risk stuff like that. I continue my drive, the radio now mostly silent except for the occasional chatter. A few hours later, as I'm traveling back home, the radio crackles again. Dispatch. Rig 7B, come in. Rig 7B, go ahead, dispatch. Just want to give you an update on that call you made earlier regarding mile marker 82. Patrol unit just finished checking the area. Oh good. Is he safe? Negative on the vehicle, Rig 7B. No signs of a sedan, no person anywhere near mile marker 82 or 83. The road was clear. Unit confirmed snow cover, but no evidence of a stranded vehicle or individual. What? Are you sure, dispatch? I saw him right there by the sign. Blue car, he said. He was a redhead and had greyish eyes. Affirmative, Rig 7B. Unit did a thorough sweep. Nothing out there. He might have found another ride. But one thing's for sure, there wasn't a car, nor any signs of one. If, you need to rest or grab some coffee or driving, do remember to do that, Rig 7B. The implication was loud and clear. Will do, thank you. A sigh leaves my lips. It would make sense if he just got another ride, but if there was no car, well, no way. He was right there. I talked to him, didn't I? The endless road ahead suddenly seems emptier, and much, much longer. Neutral N3. Radio silence. Alright, let's do this again. Come on, get in. Against my better judgment, in you get. Alright, fine. I sigh. The sound may be a little louder than necessary. Get in, but I add quickly, pointing a finger. Keep the chatter down, okay? It's been a long night. I unlock the door even though I still feel anxious. He practically scrambles inside, pulling the door shut quickly. The man then continues to shake his head vigorously like a dog sending droplets of water flying. A few icy drops land on the dash right near my half-empty coffee cup. I can't help but wince inwardly. Cleanliness is next to godliness out here. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, just don't kill me, haha. He rubs his hands together rapidly, blowing on them. Oh, you are adorable though. It's freezing out here. You have no idea how amazing this heater feels right now. Oh, I bet. Please don't hurt me. I'm sure I can imagine. He grins at my curt response and glances around the truck, taking in all the various switches and gauges with wide, almost childlike eyes. Wow, never been inside a big rig before. Yeah, well, don't get used to it for the rest of the ride. I'm Yandere. Clean up after yourself. I don't really care if he takes it the wrong way. Whether he thinks I'm a jerk than me regretting letting him in later. Right, sorry. He says quickly, looking slightly flustered. He awkwardly tries to brush the remaining snow off his jacket and pants, directing it as best as he can onto the floor mat. I'm Ilya, by the way. Seriously, and you really saved me back there. He leans back in the seat, letting out a shaky breath. I can feel my cheeks heat up a bit under his gaze. Darn. Just take the compliment, don't make it weird. No, it's alright. I clear my throat. All I have left tonight is a load to drop off at Springville. That's only about a bit farther from Oakhaven anyway. A bit being 3 more hours, but hey. The indomitable human spirit won today. I pulled the truck back into the slippery road, gearing the wipers to work extra hard against the accumulating snow. How long have you been driving? Way too long. Since yesterday morning. I sigh, the long hours catching up to me despite the brief adrenaline spike from earlier. Oh, shit. Really? You must be exhausted. He sounds genuinely impressed. How is it actually, being a trucker? It's alright. It has its moments. It's me on the road mostly, so it can even be peaceful sometimes in its own way. The words feel surprisingly easy to admit out loud to a total stranger. I glance at the dancing flakes lit up by the truck's high beams. Peaceful. He's not surprised. He leans forward a little, squinting at the windshield as if trying to see what I see. That's not how I describe this. Okay. Forgive me for finding the snow pretty. Despite that, a small smile tugs at my lips. No, I swear that's not it. I mean, it is pretty, don't get me wrong. Well, I always saw driving down empty roads at night as more eerie. Or isolating, not peaceful. So cute, look at him blush. What about it makes you feel at peace? The stars? Well, when the sky gets clear out here, all the way far from city pollution, you can see every single star. It's something else. I describe, feeling a warmth spread through me, remembering it. Unfortunately, there's no stars to bask in tonight, but the mere memory is enough to make me calm. It takes me back a little, actually. I used to be kind of an artsy, crafty kid back in school. I used to sit in art class and poke holes in cardboard with a pen, arranging them like constellations with a ribbon and painting over it, along with a whole bunch of shit. I got an award for it. One of the judges told me it looked like I cut a piece of the sky off and presented it to them. Aww. And sunrises. Man. Driving towards the coast, watching the sky turn all those impossible colors over the water. I love driving by beach towns for that reason. Even if I can't stop sometimes. That sounds amazing. I get it now. A little bit. Seeing stuff like that on drives must be refreshing. A comfortable silence settles between you as the miles roll by. The snow has eased up slightly. I blink slowly, fighting off a yawn that threatens to split my mouth open. My eyelids feel heavy, and I have to force myself to focus on the road ahead. Hey. Ilya's voice is quiet and yet it breaks a spell on me. I turn my head slightly towards him, rubbing my eyes with my free hand. I was thinking about what you said earlier, about the stars. It reminded me of something. What is it? My drowsiness fades a little, replaced by curiosity. What? When I was maybe 10? 11? I used to sneak out sometimes. It was really hard. My old man kept a pretty close eye on me. With a little planning, I managed to find this old abandoned observatory. It wasn't too far from my house, but since I had seen it out once when I was When you were what? He coughed and cut himself off before resuming. Well, when I was up before. So I knew exactly where it was. Ilya? I'm gonna need you to tell me right now what you're about to say. The roof had mostly collapsed in the center, but that was the best part. Ironically, you climb inside, lie right there on the dusty concrete floor, look straight up through the hole and see everything. Maybe you can look straight up through my hole. No street lights, no house lights, no trees blocking your view, no light pollution at all, just the endless sky. I'd lie there for hours sometimes. It felt like the whole universe, the whole sky was only for me. Only for me. It's beautiful. Wow, that sounds incredible. My voice is softer than I expected. It was. He looks out the window for a moment, his gaze fixed on something I can't see. A faraway look in his eyes that makes him seem much younger. Almost vulnerable. It's probably falling apart even more now. Most likely rubble and rust, but I wonder if someday I could take you there. In what way? Like on a date, or are you gonna kidnap me? My breath catches slightly. It would never happen, of course, but the mere thought of it, I'd like that. A warmth spreads through my chest. It's unexpected and a little confusing. Did you ever have a place like that? Grandpa's porch. My grandpa's porch. He had this old wooden swing. The memory makes me choke up a bit, but I compose myself quickly. We'd sit there after rainstorms. The sun would beam down on us and he'd dance with me. I said and did a lot of awful stuff to my gramps over the years that I regret. But he'd always bring me over to the porch to talk it out. Sounds perfect. There's a wistfulness in his voice that makes my chest ache. The road curves gently ahead. For a moment, the headlights catch Ilya's face at the right angle. His freckles stand out across his nose and cheeks, and his lashes cast shadows when he blinks. I try to keep my gaze fixed on the asphalt and the yellow lines blurring beneath the tires, but it's hard. My eyes keep wanting to drift back to him. You're strange. You know that? Strange how? He leans his head against the window, watching me through his half-lidded eyes. Most people don't really do all this. I mean, picking up a total stranger, driving them halfway across the state in the middle of the night, having full-blown conversations with them. It's really nice. Don't get me wrong, you're a really good person, Yinny. And that's why you're not gonna hurt me, right? I haven't met someone like you before. I can feel my throat dry at his words. The dashboard clock reads 2:17 AM, and the world outside might not exist. It feels like we're the only two people left in it, trapped in this moving bubble. Suddenly, the truck hits a particularly deep pothole. The vehicle lurches violently. Ilya is thrown slightly to the side, and his hand flies out instinctively, landing firmly on my forearm to steady himself. Sorry. No, don't worry about it. The road's pretty rough. Let's tease him. Getting a little familiar, aren't we, Ilya? A slow, shy smile spreads across his face. A faint flush rises in his cheeks, painting them a faint, endearing red in the dim light. Wow, so he's like as into me as I am into him? Maybe he'll be into me in some other ways later. Sorry. I blink a bit at how genuine it sounded and cough, turning my own face away to hide how it burned. It's okay. His thumb brushes against my wrist, swiping over the white leather of my glove. His searching eyes never leave mine. Eyes on the road? His voice is soft and raspy. It's barely above a whisper. He trails off. Touch his hand. You know you're flirting with a murderer? Maybe murderer. On impulse, my gloved hand, which was resting on the gear shift, turns palm up beneath his. His eyes widen slightly, a look at which I could only assume to be a profound sense of ease. Oh. Yes, oh indeed. Oh. His fingers entangle with mine. Tentatively at first, then confidently. Ilya's grip is warm and firm around my work glove. I can also be warm and firm around him too. He slowly pulls my hand away from the gear shift, holding it freely in his lap before lifting it upwards as if to examine it. A giddy, almost breathless feeling bubbles up in my chest. It feels nice. More than nice. It feels right in a way. I squeeze his hand gently for a second, then force myself to release it, pulling my focus back onto driving even as my heart begins to flutter. It's quiet again, except for the swish of the wipers. Trying to ask about his family in Oakhaven. Are you excited to see your family? Yeah, I can't wait. It's been a while. I catch him flexing his fingers against his knee like he's counting something. Tell me about them. Cool, what are your folks like? What do they do in Oakhaven? Oh, you know, typical stuff. Gardening and crossword puzzles mostly, now that they're retired, keeping busy. Before they stopped working, Dad was a doctor, a general practitioner, Mom was a nurse. A doctor and a nurse? Wow, sounds like a solid, respectable family. Maybe this is it. A chance to see what a normal, stable life looks like up close. I don't want to be out on the road forever, meeting people like this. Maybe it opens doors. I mean, a whole family of most likely wealthy folks loaded with all kinds of connections. This could be my way in. Feels a bit awkward to suddenly bring it up, but it shouldn't be a big deal. He's been pretty open so far. That's awesome. They sound great. Really impressive, actually. Hey, this might sound weird, and you can totally say no, but since I'm dropping you right there anyway, would it be alright if I said hi when we get there? Just for a minute? I won't stay long, obviously. I have to drop off the stuff, but yeah, if it's not too much trouble. It'd be cool to meet them and, you know, see a little more Oakhaven. The air in the cab goes instantly cold. Colder than the snow outside. His face smooths out completely. Every trace of warmth, of humor, of humanity drains from his features. Oh no! Ilya's eyes are suddenly terrifyingly still and empty, like deep dark pools of water. Is it because he's not actually going to visit his family? No. Apologize. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, just got a bit carried away. It's fine. His tone is still a little stiff. It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. We'll ask about his family again. I want to ask about his brother. Tell me about your brother. What about your siblings? You mentioned a brother earlier. Oh no. The heater clicks off with a soft whir, leaving a sudden silence. I had a brother. Had? Past tense. 10 years older than me. He left when I was 8. Got out before things got complicated. He mumbles the last part so low I almost miss it. Escaped before it all started. Bastard. My blood runs cold. Kidding. He has moved away and got a job out of state. Why call him that? Why would you call him that? Bastard. And didn't you say he gave you the car? That's a horrible thing to say about someone who helped you out. He seemed to snap back to himself. His cheerful mask back in place, albeit a little strained around the edges. You're so righteous, Yandere. I was just messing with you, trying to get a rise out of you. I think you were so angry you let the truth slip for a bit. But you're right. I shouldn't have said that about him. He's a great guy, really. Super supportive. His smile is wide. Maybe a little too wide. And his eyes dart away for a split second. The snow outside suddenly gets even thicker now. I was sure the forecast said it was going to stop earlier, but it's only getting worse. Shit. Can't even see past the hood at this point. Statistically, this is when most drivers make fatal mistakes. You sure you'll be okay driving on? Don't have much of a choice. This kind of weather makes the world feel smaller, doesn't it? Especially with no cars around. It's a little scary. Yeah, it gives me the creeps. Like we're the last people left out here. We very might well be. His voice is quiet, almost thoughtful. It's quiet again except for the swish of wipers. Let's learn more about his college life. So, what's college life like these days? It must be tough, med school. All those late nights, cramming facts about whatever it is you guys cram here. You can cram something in me, alright? Labs and lectures, more or less. Learning all the ways the body can break down. Fascinating stuff, really. Uh-huh. Is it because you're a murderer? You can tell me. I wouldn't tell anybody. There's not much time for anything else. Make friends? It sounds rough. No time to, like, grab beers with classmates? No, not really. Everyone else is focused on superficial shit. Making money, buying cars. You see yourself as better than other people, then? Too busy playing God to hang out with mortals? He doesn't scramble to defend himself and shrugs instead. If that's how you want to frame it. For some reason when he says it, I don't feel a sense of arrogance. So, okay then. I try to sound casual, but I'm sure that I'm failing miserably. You mentioned you were heading there to visit family. That's right, my parents. They live outside the main town. Right, your parents. Something about his smile feels... Just curious. You know, with the weather and all, they couldn't send someone else out to pick you up, or... It seems odd. Him hitchhiking like this if his folks were expecting him so close. Most people would have called for a ride. Oh, no. They're expecting me, but... He hesitates for a beat. Since my older brother gave me the car, I thought I'd make use of it. Then, well, you know, car troubles. Out of nowhere. Hesitate. Okay, I get that. But just to make sure I'm dropping you off in the right place. What's across the street near that place? Ilya's easy smile vanishes. His gaze drifting out the side window. Oh no. He takes a shallow breath before answering. Maple Street. Yeah, Maple Street. It's near the, old high school. St. Luciel's. Maple Street. St. Luciel's High School. I searched my memory. The names of the streets and landmarks in Oakhaven. It's a small town. I've delivered to a few places there over the past few months. I know the general layout. Oakhaven doesn't have a Maple Street, Ilya. His face goes eerily blank. You're right. His voice is soft. Almost amused. Oh, I'm so done. It doesn't. So you just lied to me. No, it's a pretty popular joke inside Oakhaven. A dumb one, in all honesty. See, when outsiders ask where we live, we always say Maple Street near St. Luciel's because... He leans in closer. There was this old urban legend in Oakhaven that a teacher haunted Maple Street. Kids used to dare each other to run past her house at night. But the thing is that Maple Street doesn't exist anymore. The town council renamed it decades ago after some mayor's wife. Some people ask for directions, local mess with them by sending them to a street that doesn't exist. I'm not really sure where the St. Luciel's part originated from though. It's stupid, I know. But my dad thinks it's hilarious. I guess it rubbed off on me. That kind of makes sense. Small towns do weird shit like that. Lord knows the type of pranks I used to do on unsuspecting folks. This one seems harmless. Laugh it off. Okay, it's actually kind of funny, you sneaky bastard. Told you it was dumb. The snow outside seems to swell thicker, obscuring the road ahead. For a moment I could swear Ilya's reflection in the window isn't smiling at all. It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. Comment on the isolation of the road. You ever notice how isolated it feels at night? Like we're the last people on Earth. Wouldn't that be nice? Every bump in the road sends a jolt through my hands. I keep stealing glances at Ilya. He's unnaturally still. The green exit sign finally looms into view. I lick my dry lips considering my options. Let's continue to Oakhaven. We'll do all these other little branching bits at the end. It's better to power through. I've got a schedule to keep. I can feel Ilya's eyes boring into me as we pass the exit. Not stopping? No, we'll make better time if we... You're a terrible liar, Yandere. His words make me pause. Why would you say that? You don't have to pretend with me. Creep? The remaining miles lay out before me. I don't know if I have the strength to continue. The squeak of the wipers against the windshield has truly been the only sound for the past hour. It's maddening. I find myself stealing glances at him more often than I'd like to admit. I just can't help it. Is he tired? He seems to have heavy eye bags, but I can't help but feel that there's something more behind his distant demeanor. Almost there, just a little further. I just want to drop him off and go to sleep. The first faint glow of distant streetlights and houses begin to prickle in the darkness ahead, like cigarette embers against charcoal-colored concrete. Oakhaven. Finally. Welcome to Oakhaven. Looks like we made it. A wave of genuine relief washes over me as I see the town sign, almost forgetting about the strange man beside me. I pull the truck to the side of the road, a little past the Oakhaven welcome sign. I could drop him off a little further, but my intuition is stopping me. This is your stop. Good luck getting home. Is it really? I give a curt nod. He grabs his worn backpack from the floor before pulling the door open. We don't bother saying our goodbyes. I'm alone in the truck again. I wait a couple of seconds before pulling away. The comfort that floods me is immense, to the point it almost makes me sag against the steering wheel. Good riddance. 4 months later, the chill of winter has long given way to the mellowness of early spring. The memory of that night is mostly fragments at this point. I find myself dreaming about it sometimes, though just the bizarreness of it. It's often blurred, like moonlight trying to break through a thick fog, never quite forming a clear visage. I blink awake, forcing my eyes open. My hands fly over to the nightstand before remembering that I have work off today. I wet my eyes before sitting up a little. My boring old room. I should probably spend more time decorating it one day. All I have are 2 posters, a small closet and a TV that barely works. Life has been boring lately. I've grown even more distant from my friends and family, so I often spend my days alone even when I'm not working. It's a weird, almost dissociative haze. I hate work, but this awful silence is a lot worse. I'm miserable. Should I get a cat or something? I miss my cat. But then again, I wouldn't even be able to properly take care of it. I could hardly take care of myself. I sigh and swing my legs over the side of the bed. Shuffling over to the restroom, I splash my face with cold water and brush my teeth before making my way to the small kitchenette. There's almost nothing in the pantry. Coffee and toast it is. And so, I begin brewing the coffee. While I do that, I internally debate having 2 pieces of toast, but decide on one. I pluck the heaviest, thickly cut one into the toaster. Afterwards, I get a mug and plate in order, placing it on my wooden dining table, grabbing a newspaper that was tucked inside my apartment's sliding door and placing it there as well. Well, the toast pops up burnt. Again, I scrape out the black bits with a butter knife and plop it onto the plate. I pour the coffee into my mug, adding whatever else I thought fit to make it taste better before settling down. Sunlight catches the dust mites gently whirling over the table. It's a beautiful warm morning. I could take a walk, go window shopping, or I'll think about that later. Take a sip of coffee. The delicious warmth spreads through me. It's a decent blend, but it only makes me crave the cafe down the street even more. I decide to read the local news first. My eyes scan the boring headlines until they snag on an article tucked inside. Missing college girl's family demands answers. It's been 3 agonizing months and there is still no trace of Kaya Robin. The 19-year-old was last seen at Lawrence Resort, where she'd gone with her then boyfriend Michael W. for what was supposed to be a relaxing getaway after a grueling midterm season. Unfortunately, Kaya turned up missing shortly after, and her family and friends have been rightfully outraged. There are whispers that the state police are downplaying or even outright suppressing information. Information not just about Kaya, but about a truly alarming pattern. A rising number of disappearances and unsolved murders of young women in this very area. It is not incredibly far-fetched considering the remains of those women have been found within the same location. When will these cases and these lives be taken seriously? I've spoken to Kaya's parents, who are, as you can imagine, absolutely devastated. Mrs. Robinson described Kaya as a bundle of sunshine, always laughing, always planning for the future. The community deserves to know the truth, and Kaya's family deserves justice. I wonder if this is Ilya's doing. The face staring back at me is young and pretty, a brunette with tan skin and straight nose. My throat tightens as I begin to read. Something's wrong at Lawrence Resort. Worse, something's wrong with that place. The police should have shut it down ages ago. It's a wonder that people still go. It feels like a hunting ground. I flipped to another page with a new, smaller missing person poster on the bottom. A 17-year-old girl who disappeared after sneaking into a sorority party only a week ago. There's currently search parties underway, the article optimistically claims. Crap. Save the article. Yeah, I feel like we should save it. I feel like it's important for a reason. I carefully fold the page. I'm scared. I should go back to sleep. It's not like I have anything better left to do. Maybe I should start saving up to move. Neutral N6. Uneasy conscience. I wonder how many endings there are. I'm gonna try and get as many as I can. Let's go back to here, and instead of continuing towards Oakhaven, we'll take the exit. Hey, Ilya, do you mind if we make a quick stop? My eyes are killing me. And he turns from the window, blinking like he's coming out of a trance. Of course, you've been driving forever. We could both use a break. Thanks. At least it's covered. The ramp curves sharply, the truck's weight shifting as we descend towards the service area. Realistically, I have to drop everything off at Springfield by 7 AM. Gas station or the motel? Let's go with the motel. Look, this weather's getting worse. Maybe we should hole up till the sun comes out. I mean, you can take one of the cabs usually waiting at the motel if they have one available. I'll cover it if you don't have a large amount of cash with you. Got you this far along anyway. Or I could stay with you, just to make sure you don't sleep through anything. Wait, what? Really? But don't you have to get to your folks? They can wait. It looks like we have a charmer here. I laugh a little bit. I can feel my face heat up. I'll have to splurge, you know? Book 2 whole rooms. Who said that? We can just share a room. I swear my heart stopped beating for a second as I refocused my gaze to the road. What? That's... Please, Yandere, no funny business. I don't want you to spend more money than you have to. The sly trickster. Fine, one room will be good. I mumble it, and though I don't look at him, I know that he's smiling. End of demo. Motel route will be released in future update. Ah, okay. Alright, well, let's go to the gas station then. To the gas station we go. How about some coffee or snacks? I'll take like 10 minutes tops. Mind if I come in? Could use something hot too. Yeah, of course. The truck stumbled into a shithole gas station that looked like it hadn't seen customers since the early 1980s. It wasn't a surprise that there were only 2 cars parked outside. Probably the poor people who had to man it. I pull up beside the diesel pumps, taking a glance at the fogged up windows. Through the grime, I could just make out 2 figures inside. One was a lanky cashier staring blankly ahead, probably contemplating the vast emptiness of the universe, while the other is that a girl asleep on the counter. Yep. How classy. Well, let's go. The truck gave a soft chirp as I locked the doors. Ilya followed closely and I stepped out. Flip up the diesel tank, go straight inside. Well, let's fill up the tank. I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen if we don't fill it up. I should fill up while we're here. Ilya, why don't you head inside first? Sure thing, boss. I'll take a look at what they got. He gave my shoulder a friendly squeeze before he gently brushed past me. The pump clicked as I removed the nozzle. The acrid and strong smell of diesel immediately hit me. As the numbers on the pump began slowly ticking upwards, I wrinkled my nose. With a final click, the pump cut off automatically, the tank finally full. Alright, time to warm up. Why is everyone in this game so cute? He is so cute. She's so cute. She's like a Garu style. They're adorable. Aww. The door chimed, announcing my arrival. Warm, stale air washed over me. It was comforting. Walking in, I saw the 2 employees. They both looked young, late teens at most. The dude at the counter had dark, spiky hair and a pierced lip. He glanced at me as I walked in, but made no move to offer a greeting. Stellar customer service. Browse the snack aisle. I trail my fingers along the racks. Potato chips. Oh yay, I love sour cream and onion chips. A crinkly bag of sour cream and onion chips. Classic. Oh, wow, the animations are so cute. The cashier finally tore his gaze from his coworker as I approached the counter. I paid him quickly. He barely made eye contact, simply handing me my change and receipt. Wait, I have a bad feeling. Maybe I should rethink. Why do I have a bad feeling? Yeah, I have a bad feeling. I hesitated, looking back at the empty aisles, then at the cashier who was already lost in thought again. Was I overthinking this? No, I needed to keep moving. I get back into the truck without a word. We don't say anything and slip back onto the road. The remaining miles lay out before me. I don't know if I have the strength to continue. The squeak of wipers against the windshield has truly been the only sound for the past hour. It's maddening. Is this the same ending? Okay, so that particular gas station path leads us back into the ending in which we are in our room, but this time let's tear up the newspaper. I shred the pages, getting up to scatter them into the trash. Well, it's not my problem. Neutral N5, Wilful Ignorance. Okay, so we've gotten 3 endings so far. I need to start tracking these, because we've gotten endings 3, 6, and 5 so far. Well, I am back at this branch. Instead of filling up the diesel tank, which put us on that path that resumed the other section, I'm just gonna go straight inside this time. Tank's full enough. Let's head inside, I'm freezing. After you. He fell into step just a little too close behind me. The doors chimed as we stepped inside, letting out a gust of warm, stale air. It smelled faintly of stale coffee and cheap candy. Perfect. Why is he blushing this time? Behind the counter, I saw 2 employees. One was a lanky, dark-haired guy I spotted earlier, staring at the girl beside him, his gaze distant. The other was still completely conked out. I leaned towards Ilya, whispering slightly. Oh, correctly, she's out cold. She must be exhausted. Your truck has put in some serious hours too, don't you, Yandere? His fingers grazed my lower back. Oh, wow. As we move past the register, it's casual enough to play it off if I called him on it. Why does that feel nice? I'll be honest, whenever our love interest just touches the lower back, I'm just like, Come on, let's get you caffeinated before you end up like her. Ha ha. I feel a blush creep up my neck at his proximity. I'm here in the coffee. Do you want anything? Surprise me. He leaned against the chip display, watching me through his eyelashes with that same weird focus he had in the truck. I'll go look for some snacks. What if I want to browse the snack aisle with Ilya? Hey, wait up. I think I'll go look for some snacks too. Ilya sat next to me as I looked through the rows of brightly colored bags and boxes. Anything catching your eye, Yandere? We got plenty of road ahead, might as well stock up. Consider a chocolate bar. My hand covered over a candy apple colored chocolate bar when Ilya's arm shot past me, grabbing it fast. Hey! Great minds think alike. He tore the wrapper with his teeth and broke off a square. We haven't paid for that yet. Ilya shrugged, holding the chocolate up to my lips. It's alright, we'll pay eventually. In fact, I have a feeling we can walk out of here with tons of these sweets tucked into our jackets. That kid up front won't give a shit. He's not wrong, but still. I take a nibble of the chocolate, trying to ignore how his eyes twinkle a little. You shouldn't say stuff like that. Ilya blinks, taken aback. Yes, we can't just steal. As tempting as it is. Say what? Just not thought about stealing. You're a good guy, Ilya. I don't want... Well, I trailed off. What the hell's wrong with me? Ilya seems equally as surprised. You really are sweet, Yandere. Haha, we ambled down the aisle, Ilya occasionally tossing some overpriced snack in the basket. It's just been so long to have such a casual conversation, bickering occasionally. My chest feels warm and tight. I don't want to think about this anymore. Alright, I think we've gotten what we need. Let's get some coffee. I made my way to the coffee station. There was an adorable coffee machine in front of me on top of a counter, sitting beside white cups, salt and sugar packets, as well as wooden coffee stirrers. Hey kid, where's the good stuff hidden? The cashier grumbled before walking over to me. What? Where are the creamers and milk? The creamer is Ilya, he's behind us. He rolled his eyes before opening the two shelves on the bottom, displaying different types of ingredients. Oh, thank you. Pick your drink. Let's do... Ooh, there's hot chocolate. Top it off with some... salt? Why not? The hell? Hang on, let me move myself down a bit so we can see, What the hell? Who puts salt in their drinks? Me. Okay, I'll wait for you at the counter. Oh, is that for me? Yep. Wow, that's... wow. Oh, he took a cautious sip. Ilya's face immediately began twitching as he forced a smile. Such a creative choice. I'm sorry, I just wanted to put the salt in. I think I'll savor this slowly over the next decade. He's still sleeping. Oh, look at the bunny and the bear. I think these two are a couple. Like the girl and the cashier. I approached the counter, Ilya hovering just behind me like an overeager puppy. The cashier didn't look up from whatever he was doing around the counter, because I noticed that his hat also said the L+J on it. I wonder if that means them. Hey there, sunshine. Ring us up. What do you want? This guy is such a great conversationalist. I held up my gatherings and so did Ilya. Just please, we'll be out of your hair right after. Ilya leaned forward suddenly. What's your name? The cashier and I were both startled by the question. Even the sleeping girl stirred lightly. What? Why ask? It's not like we'll see the kid again. Jax. Why? Just making conversation, Jax. She okay? I nodded towards the sleeping girl. Back off, alright? She's just tired. His whole body shifted protectively, his shoulders squaring up. She works doubles between here and that school. Not all of us get to joyride across the country. Let's make fun of him. Damn, someone's got it bad. Shut the hell up, she's just my co-worker. Yeah, right. So she's his girlfriend then. Jax bristled slightly, his gaze hardening for a split second before he looked away, clearly uncomfortable. He paused and then sighed, running a hand through his spiky hair, looking more and more exasperated. Look, can I just ring you two up? It's been a long night. Honestly, you guys are taking forever. It's a chill shift, but like, come on. I exchanged a look with Ilya. Fair enough. Jax scanned our items slowly. Take your time, not like we have places to be. I'm going as fast as I can. Ilya, stop teasing the poor kid. Here's your change. He pushed it towards the counter, not meeting either of our eyes, already looking back towards his co-worker. Pleasure doing business with you, Jax. We left the building and entered the truck again. The gas station shrunk slowly in the rearview mirror. It was a nice pit stop. How was it? It was nice hanging out with you. I smiled slightly. Go to the motel, continue driving to Oakhaven. Well, we can't do the motel just yet. And I think all we can do is Oakhaven, which I'm assuming... yeah, Oakhaven still just brings us back to this, where we see the missing person, which either just lends us with ending 5 or 6. Alright, so that means the branch that we want is going to be much further back. So I think what we're going to do is, we're going to let Jax come into the car, and this time we're just going to be mean to him. Alright, fine. Get in. In the car you come. Here's the first choice. Oh, I don't want to be mean. He's going to murk us. What's it to you? What did I say? Keep the chatter down. My tone is sharp. Ilya blinks in surprise, his easy smile faltering completely. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to pry, just curious. Forget it. Ilya shifts in the seat, turning his body away from me and towards the passenger window. His breath fogs a faint circle onto the glass. The silence is uncomfortable but much needed. Say nothing. I don't speak and keep my eyes locked ahead. He stays turned away. Ilya remains quiet for a long moment, staring out the window. He eventually clears his throat. So, long drive, huh? Ugh, small talk. I notice it too. Feels like it's never gonna end. Doesn't it? He turns back to me, a knowing look in his eyes that feels a little too understanding. It's like you're driving in circles and never getting anywhere. Are we talking about the drive in general, or... That's a strangely specific way to put it, but I suppose so. It's quiet again, except for the swish of wipers. Ask about his family in Oakhaven. Okay, tell me about your family. What are your folks like? What do they do? Oh, you know, typical stuff. Gardening and crossword puzzles. Mostly now that they're retired, keeping busy. Alright, so I think this time, when we ask to meet his parents, we'll pry further and say why not. No, why not? Did I say something wrong? My heart is suddenly pounding really fast. It's not a good time, really. My dad, he's actually not doing so well. That's why I'm going home. He's been really sick lately. And when he's like this, he gets really confused. Can't handle surprises. Well, and doesn't like strangers around at all. Now that he's bedridden, it's just gotten worse. It'll make things way more difficult for everyone if you introduce yourself, especially for him. Bedridden? Now how on earth is he bedridden but also able to garden? Bedridden? I thought you just said he was retired into gardening. That's a pretty big difference. Retired and sick. It happens. People get sick, Yandere. It's not always a slow decline. He can move around and stuff, but he needs help for a lot of it. He came on pretty fast, that's why I rushed home for break. Everything changed so quickly. No, something seems suspicious. I don't trust him. It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. Confirm his car troubles again. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I should test him. He's a little odd. Hey, about your car earlier. What about it? Where exactly did it break down? You never said exactly where it stopped working. Oh, like I said, around mile marker 70. Why, you don't believe me? You said 82 and 83. It's not that, but... Wait, I thought you said it was mile marker 82 or 83 when I first picked you up. Ilya flinches. Yeah, that's what I meant. 82 or 83. Sorry, I must be getting tired. That's bullshit. The snow outside suddenly gets even thicker now. I was sure the forecast said it was going to stop earlier, but it's only getting worse. Shit, I can't even see past the hood at this point. Statistically, this is where most drivers make fatal mistakes. You sure you'll be okay driving on? Let's be annoyed. More annoying than scary, honestly. It makes my job harder. Makes sense. It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. Suggest trying the radio. Confirm his car troubles again. Let's ask the other question. What was wrong with it? Did you figure out what was wrong with it? I'm not a mechanic in here, but it was probably the frost. Older models don't always handle extreme temperatures well. So, okay then. I try to sound casual even though I'm failing miserably. You mentioned you were heading there to visit family. That's right. My parents, they live outside the main town. Right, your parents. Something about his smile feels... Just curious, you know, with the weather and all, couldn't they send someone to pick you up? No. They're expecting me, but... He hesitates for a beat. Since my older brother gave me the car, I thought I'd make use of it. Hesitate. Okay, I get that. But just be sure I'm dropping you off in the right place. Okay, and this is the Maple Street conversation. Then let's skip forward to the next choice, where we, instead of laughing it off this time, we call him out. That's a pretty elaborate story for a joke. Really? You're the one who memorized every street in Oakhaven. Who's the weird one here? Something about him is just not right. The snow outside seems to swell thicker, obscuring the road ahead. For a moment I could swear Ilya's reflection in the window isn't smiling at all. Suggest trying the radio. Let me try again. I fiddle with the tuner knob. Scan slowly. Come on, you piece of junk. Winter storm warning. Backstreet's back alright. Backstreet Boys. You know it. Signal's still awful though. I want coffee, but I need to get him to Oakhaven fast. He's not murdering me yet. Why do I want him to murder me? The remaining miles lay out before me. I don't know if I have the strength to continue. The squeak of the wipers against the windshield has surely been the only sound for the past hour. It's maddening. We're almost there. Just a little further. I just want to drop him off and go to sleep. The first faint glow of distant streetlights and houses begin to prickle in the darkness ahead like cigarette embers against charcoal-colored concrete. Oakhaven. Finally. Welcome to Oakhaven. Looks like we made it. A wave of genuine relief washes over me as I see the town sign. Almost forgetting about the strange man beside me. Oh, this time we pull into Oakhaven. Interesting. I pull the truck past the initial few houses until the main street of Oakhaven appears. It's lined up with dormant shops that have their windows darkened out, and a single traffic light causing an eerie red glow. Visiting it at night was unsettling. I was well acquainted with Oakhaven already, but never stayed for longer than I had to. Yandere? I was thinking, my parents' place isn't too far from here. It's a short walk from off the main road, maybe 15 minutes. It's much easier than trying to navigate your truck back on these small streets. You probably get stuck, or at least have a hell of a time turning around. You could just park it here if you like. It's a perfectly safe spot this time of the night, and I could take you up there. You know, show you the way. My mom would love to thank you herself for getting me home. I thought you said your parents didn't want to see me. Is he really offering to take me to meet them after all? Girl? Wait, seriously? You're not just offering because you feel bad, right? I swear, Ilya, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that. I genuinely want them to meet you. I was a bit too irrational and emotional when you asked me earlier, but they definitely asked questions regarding the car, and then... Well, my family's a bit traditional. They at least want to thank you or give you a meal before bringing me back home. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll go with Ilya. Oh, yeah? Okay, yeah, I like that, Ilya. A short walk sounds fine. Lead the way. There's something feels off about this. I'm about to die. Look at his expression. I'm about to get folded, and not in a sexy way either. I knew you'd understand. I lock the truck and step outside along with him. You're sure my truck won't get towed? Nah, you'll be fine. Come on, follow me. It's really chilly outside. I wrap my hands around myself, glancing around. It's so quiet out here, I guess everyone's asleep. Right? We could wreak havoc out here and nobody would ever know. This one right here, officer. Ilya laughs a bit at my rather unfunny comment before directing me towards a narrow path. My breath plumes white in front of me. I wonder how long it's been since I took a stroll like this at night. We continue walking for a few minutes right along the path between tall, dark trees. It looks less like a path and more like a gash. Jesus, do your folks live in the wilderness? It's a bit of a shortcut. Saves us a few minutes and avoids a longer route around the block. Do you mind? Oh no, he's gonna kill me. Man, lead the way then. The air grows noticeably denser as we step beneath the dense canopy of trees. The moonlight struggles and fails entirely to penetrate the thick, intertwining branches. Oh no, I'm so gone. The gentle crunch of snow beneath our boots is the only sound. I'm so done. Rip me, I'm gone. Ilya is ahead of me. He knows his woods better than I ever could. I slow my pace instinctively, examining the roots of the trees. And he glances back. After you, Yinny. Goodbye, Yinny. Wait, what? But I need you to guide me. I just need to look through my bags for the keys just in case they're sleeping. See ya! Something's wrong. So wrong. I take a hesitant step forward, my back briefly to him. No, I don't like this. Before I can even turn around, a sudden heavy force slams into the back of my head. I don't even act surprised because I knew it was coming. Crap! My vision explodes into a blinding white flash. The world spins almost violently. The impact of my head against the rough bark of the thick tree trunk sends agonizing pain through my skull. I gasp regardless. I'm still conscious. Horrifyingly conscious. My knees buckle and I fall to the freezing snow, landing hard on my side. I can barely clear my focus. My head is throbbing. I force myself to look up. His eyes are cold, yet there's a sickening, almost serene satisfaction in their depths. I knew you were a freak! Ilya's backpack is on the floor. Was that the thing that hit me? Is he holding a knife? His laugh is soft and quiet, nearly melodic as he pushes me back using his foot, causing me to grunt. What the hell are you doing? Ilya doesn't dignify me with a response. He just smiles brightly before crouching on top of me, bringing his face close to mine. I cringe, trying to push myself away. I can't move. I don't know why exactly. It's almost like an innate instinct, a primal fear that keeps me frozen in place. I'm too scared to even speak up, so all I can do is squeeze my eyes shut, but I know I can't keep my eyes closed forever. When I open mine again, Ilya's face hovers inches from mine. His breath smells faintly of mint gum, which is absurdly ordinary for a man holding a knife to my throat. There you are. I was worried I hit you too hard. His thumb brushes against my cheekbone, almost tenderly as the blade's edge kisses my pulse point. Tell me something, Yinny. When you drive all those miles, every single day, do you ever feel it? The understanding that none of this matters. I don't understand. I don't understand. What does he mean? You thought you could escape it, didn't you? The seeping poison that is humanity. Just by glancing at you, I knew you're downright terrified of it. Even if you don't want to admit to it yourself, but you can't run from it forever. It's inescapable. Ingrained in every fiber of our being. Ilya hums. The misery of waking up every morning, of going to sleep with thoughts of waiting and yearning for something new, something exciting, but for what? What's the point of your aspirations, your dreams, when you live in a world that just doesn't care about you? I shut my eyes, as if to physically block his words from worming into me. It doesn't quite work. Ilya laughs brightly, boyishly, as if I was being charming. Well, you're right, Yinny. You're right about everything you suspected, everything you feared, and you just reaffirmed my belief. He goes quiet for a moment and so do I, still as a deer. When your body is found in this ditch by spring, his voice is so soft, so quiet that I have to strain to hear even if I don't want to. When your body is all bloated and half eaten by coyotes, people will emerge from the shadows. They'll claim that they loved you, that it's so awful that all this happened, how much they'll miss you. I feel like throwing up. Shut up. Shut up. And then, Yinny, do you know what they'll do? They'll take your things, your money, your memories. They'll move on with their lives as if you never existed, unless to brag about how close they were to you when they want sympathy points. It's sickening, isn't it? It feels cold. Ilya snorts. You must have thought yourself of a great savior, picking up a stranger at the side of the road like that. Time to beg. Please, please. I won't tell anyone. My voice is weak and hoarse. I'll go. I'll leave. Nobody will ever know that. Ilya's laughter interrupts me, sending a crow to scatter from the branches. Yiddy, that's really sweet. But you should know better. The blade presses just enough to dimple the skin and my heart beats even faster. Oh my god, I can dodge! I did it! Heck yeah! We'll go back in and see what happens when we don't dodge. Ilya's knife ends up slicing through the air instead. My hand clamps around his wrist as I glare up at him. Oh, so cute. His pupils dilate, breath coming faster. Are you trying to survive, huh? Even after my little speech. You sure are stubborn. Trying to disarm him? Knee him. Well, right at the balls. My body remembers what to do even if my brain is buffering, thankfully. I pivot my foot, grab a fistful of his jacket for leverage and drive my knee hard up into his groin. Ilya makes a noise that's a half gasp and half laugh. Freak? What the hell? It's almost a funny sound, but I have no time to savor it. I force myself out of his grip and stand up dizzily before running. I'm already moving before he can say a word. Branches whip at my face as I crash through the underbrush, each breath soaring at my throat. My foot catches on something. A root, a rock, doesn't matter, and suddenly I'm tripping. I end up falling. My ankle twists with a loud snap. The pain is so intense that I have to keep from vomiting. Warmth spreads down my leg. Crap! It hurts so bad. Jesus, I can't even move the damn thing. It's embarrassing, but I can't help but start tearing up. Shit. Why me? I roll onto my back just as his shadow falls across me, blotting out the moon. The bastard isn't even breathing hard. I don't look up. You're full of surprises, aren't you? He tisks, nudging my ruined ankle with his toe, and I bite down my lip to keep from screaming. Pity. You sure were adorable trying to rile me up like that. My dude, did you think this was foreplay? I was trying to get away. Just kill me already. You goddamn psycho. I hiss the words out, but twitch uncomfortably when he presses his boot on top of my swollen ankle. Sick freak. I stammer off into a gasp, trying to keep myself from crying before looking up. Oh, he is too into this. He's still cute though. You're about to get burked. Somewhere, in the midst of my agony, I realize that the ginger bastard is chuckling at my struggle. Such a foul mouth and such a pretty face. All that fight just to end up here. It's poetic, in a way. My teeth chatter from the shock and the cold. Some kind of perv. Is this what this is? You're getting off on this shit, Ilya. His smile drops. Suddenly I'm staring into eyes as flat and dead as a taxidermy deer's. Close your eyes. Something heavy connects in my temple, and the world fractures into oblivion. Ilya crouches down beside me again, shrugging me up on his shoulders, but I can't feel a thing. My last coherent thought isn't fear. It's actually sort of shameful, but it's the absurd realization that he smells comforting like pine trees. I shakily press my hand to his back, a shallow attempt at pushing him away as nothingness consumes me. Then even that slips away. End of demo. Captivity route will be released in the full game. Thanks for playing. Oh my god. I knew he was going to be unhinged, but this is really interesting. I'm very, very keen to find out more about why he thinks the way he does. But first, let's go back to before, and let's not dodge. I can't coordinate fast enough. Ow! For one moment we're locked together. It should sound intimate, and it is, but in another way. His knife presses against my neck before he twists and pushes it. The knife comes free with the bloody sound of parting flesh. It hurts. The pain is incredibly slow. First there's a log of pressure, as if I swallowed something too large. And then the fire erupts along my throat and it blooms outward, blinding me in the process. It sounds like he peeled apart a raw steak. The cold gushes into the gaping wound. My hands fly up, fingers scrabbling against my ruined neck. My white work gloves come away dark and slick in the moonlight. It's a nauseating sight. The blood doesn't spurt, but it does pour, flooding down my collarbones and onto my clothes. I can't even scream. All that comes out is a gurgle and it doesn't even sound human. Bloodier than I thought it would be. The snow beneath me isn't white anymore. It's pink and then it's red, spreading slowly around my head. My vision darkens fast. Like a pig. Ilya murmurs something, but I can't quite hear anything anymore. Or see anything. The last thing I can taste is my own coppery blood. The last thing I can feel is the watery snow beneath me. And the last thing I can hear is my own heartbeat. Slowing. The world is quiet now. Bad end 2. Arterial Spray. Ooh, that was intense. Let's load up to where we were before, which is here. Instead of kneeing him this time, let's try and disarm him. I grapple for the knife instead, my fingers closing around his wrist just as the blade flashes. How energetic! Still too slow. No, I still got marked! Damn it! Yeah, I still just die and... oh no! Damn it! Well, ending 2... there has to be other endings then. Let's go hunting. This time instead of going with Ilya, we're gonna stay in the truck. Although I wanted to go earlier, I don't feel like imposing now. His reaction was way too strong. No thanks, Ilya. I appreciate the offer really, but I just really need to get this load delivered tonight. I'm already way behind schedule. I can just drop you off right here if that works. You can walk the rest of the way. It's not too far, right?
Of course. Duty calls. It's no problem at all, Yinny. Thanks again for everything. You really went above and beyond tonight.
Alright, Ilya. Where do you want me to drop you off? Just point me in the right direction.
Here's fine, Yinny. I can walk the rest of the way. It's not far at all now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He unbuckles his seatbelt and gathers his warm backpack from the floor.
Thank you, seriously, for everything tonight. You really saved me. I don't know what I would have done out there. I won't forget this.
No problem, Ilya. Glad I could help. Stay safe out there. He nods before stepping out of the truck, pulling the door shut. I watch him in the rearview mirror until he's just a dot, before pulling back onto the main road. And then we drive off. I finally made it. That smile of Ilya's was so off. I scan the shadows between the warehouses. Nothing moves, still. The back of my neck feels cold.
Rig 7B, confirmed drop-off.
7B here, delivery complete. Well, that's that. I should go get some shut-eye. Neutral N4. Uneventful ride. Well, we got ending 4. Now we just need ending 1, and then anything else that we might be able to find. There is like another dialogue train that I want to explore a little bit of. So we're just gonna let him in this time. Come in. Alright, hop in. The words feel a little alien coming out of my mouth. Every rational cell in my body is screaming at me, but the image of him out there, I can't shake it. I reach across the wide cab, my hand hovering over the heavy latch on the passenger door for a brief second before I unlock it. He practically scrambles inside, pulling the door shut quickly. The man then continues to shake his head vigorously like a dog, sending droplets of water flying. A few icy drops land on the dash right near my half-empty coffee cup, and I can't help but wince inwardly. Cleanliness is next to godliness out here.
Thank you so much.
He rubs his hands together rapidly, blowing on them. I'll blow on him.
It's freezing out there. You have no idea how amazing this heater feels right now.
I'm sure I can imagine. He grins at my curt response and glances around the truck, taking in all the various switches and gauges with wide, almost childlike eyes.
Wow, never been inside a big rig before.
Glad to help. Name's Yinny. I managed to relax my shoulder a fraction. Try not to create a mess anywhere, okay? I muster up a small tired smile, feeling a bit of the tension ease now that he's safely inside.
Right, sorry.
He says quickly and looking slightly flustered. He awkwardly tries to brush the remaining snow off his jacket and pants, directing it best as he can onto the floor mat.
I'm Ilya, by the way. Seriously, you really saved me back there.
He leans back in the seat, letting out a shaky breath. I can feel my cheeks heat up a bit under his gaze. Darn. Just take the compliment, don't make this weird. No, it's alright. I clear my throat. All I have left tonight is a load to drop off at Springville. That's only about a bit farther away from Oakhaven anyway. A bit maybe more than 3 hours, but hey, the indomitable human spirit won today. I pull the truck back onto the slippery road, gearing the wipers to work extra hard against the accumulating snow.
How long have you been driving?
Way too long, since yesterday morning. I sigh, the long hours catching up to me despite the brief adrenaline spike from earlier.
Shit, really? You must be exhausted.
He sounds genuinely impressed.
How is it actually, being a trucker?
Pays the bills. And that's pretty much the long and short of it. Long hauls, late nights, weird shit here and there, but at least it keeps the lights on. I shrug, keeping my eyes on the road.
It's gonna be tough though.
Ilya says, his voice quiet.
Being out here all the time. Alone. Don't you miss, I don't know, normal stuff like sleeping in your own bed, seeing people whenever you want?
I got used to it. This rig's more home than home most days. When you're as tired as me, concrete would feel just as fine. I paused for a second, realizing how bleak that sounded. That was a joke. Mostly, I mean. I do stop at motels and stuff if I'm really beat.
Huh.
Ilya looks out the windshield for a beat.
That's a little sad.
No beating around the bush there. Why, thank you? I deadpan, glancing at him from my side peripheral.
Oh, wait, sorry.
He quickly backtracks.
I didn't mean to offend you.
I was kidding. I managed a slightly more genuine laugh this time. It's okay, I don't really care.
Oh, okay. That's a relief. Still, all those hours alone doesn't never get lonely.
All the damn time, honestly. Just gonna keep going, I guess. The miles don't drive themselves.
Statistically speaking, long-haul drivers have higher rates of depression and anxiety.
He says it matter-of-factly, like he's reading from a textbook. It's an odd thing to state. He catches himself though after seeing my expression.
Sorry, that was kind of tactless. Probably not the best thing to blurt out. My bad.
Point out the oddness. Well, that's a fact, alright? Pretty random one to have on hand though. You got a mental archive of depressing stats, or...?
Oh, no, really, I really didn't mean any harm. I don't have much of a filter sometimes.
Yeah, starting to notice that. Is it fun? Memorizing random stuff? Ilya taps his fingers against his knee.
It's not really random for me. I enjoy making observations and inferring stuff based off of it, watching how things work or how they inevitably stop working. The human body fails in predictable ways, the mind even more so.
Med students have a reputation for being insufferable. He grins sheepishly, running a hand through his hair. Why medicine? So what made you want to be a doctor anyway? I wish I had that kind of ambition in my life. Lord knows how easier everything would be.
The human body is endlessly interesting. A complex system that's constantly adapting and constantly failing. You can chart exactly how someone will die based on their symptoms. There's a certain comfort in that certainty.
Oh, that's neat. I'm pretty sure I squeaked it out, since he couldn't suppress a warm, low laugh.
Sorry, was that too much? I tend to get carried away.
No. I'm a little surprised, that's all.
We've been buried in terminal case studies this entire semester and it got to my head. You're right to be surprised. Don't worry, we had a cadaver lab a couple months ago.
He flexes his fingers absently.
I held a heart for the first time. It's heavier than you'd think. All those chambers, valves, create the perfect little machine.
Ask about dreams. Does that stuff ever mess with your sleep? Gross. My stomach turns at his description, a hint of nausea rising up in my throat. I can almost smell the formaldehyde. God, that's gross. Ilya, I'd pass out.
You get used to it. After all, it's basically meat and tissue. The person's already gone.
Meat? That's one way to look at it.
You know what's funny? They teach us all these procedures to save lives, but no one ever talks about how easy it is to take one.
A little weird, huh? The steering wheel jerks in my hands. Press him. You say that like you thought about it. Ilya goes very still. His eyes, which have been darting around, fix on me. He doesn't answer immediately. For a moment, I wonder if I pushed too far. If I've glimpsed something I wasn't meant to see.
Haven't you? Everyone wonders sometimes.
His voice is low, practically a murmur. He isn't looking at me. His gaze is set on the fuzzy landscape outside. But his words are aimed directly towards me, I can tell. Like a surgeon observing a specimen.
What do it feel like to hold that power? To be the deciding factor?
Clarity? Deciding factor? How does that mean, Ilya?
Isn't it? We spend our lives learning how to intervene. How to pull people back from the brink, to mend whatever is broken or can be healed. Trying to push back against entropy, stitching flesh back together, pumping drugs into people's veins. But the more knowledge you gain, the more you realize how easily that line can be moved, and how easily it'd be to wipe it out entirely.
I don't know what to say. You sound like an old uncle. The world is always ending for somebody. But it doesn't mean that people should stop drawing and reading and changing oil or planting tomatoes. Maybe we're like ants, marching to our deaths. But shouldn't it mean something still?
How very practical of you.
It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. I'm trying to learn more about his college life. So what's college like these days? Must be tough, med school. All those late nights, cramming facts about whatever it is you guys cram.
Labs and lectures, more or less. Learning all the ways the body can break down. Fascinating stuff, really. There's not much time for anything else.
It sounds lonely. Yeesh, you're asking me if I was lonely, but look at you. You sound like a pretty solitary existence.
I didn't say it was an inherently bad thing to be lonely. It's a state of being, like any other.
It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. Comment on the isolation of the road. You ever notice how isolated it feels at night? It makes me nervous. It actually makes me kind of nervous if I think about it too much.
Why's that?
I don't know. Just the thought that something went wrong out here, like really wrong. Who would even know? And indeed, the snow outside suddenly gets even thicker now. I was sure the forecast said it was going to stop earlier, but it's only getting worse. Shit, I can't even see past the hood at this point.
Statistically, this is when most drivers make fatal mistakes. You sure you'll be okay driving on?
Don't have much of a choice.
This kind of weather makes the world feel smaller, doesn't it? Especially when no other cars around.
It's a little scary. Yeah, it gives me the creeps, like with the last people left out here.
We very might well be.
His voice is quiet, almost thoughtful. It's quiet again except for the swish of the wipers. Suggest trying the radio. Let me try again. Smack the dashboard. Work, you bastard! A tinny voice suddenly fills the void. Truck is at 93.7, but before vanishing again.
Has that trick ever worked?
Once before. So, okay then. I try to sound casual, though I'm sure I'm failing miserably. You mentioned you were heading there to visit family.
That's right. My parents. They live outside the main town.
Right, your parents. Something about his smile feels... I'm just curious, with the weather and all, wouldn't they send someone out to pick you up? Okay, this is still the same. This is like stuff we've all seen, but we'll let it go this time. I decide not to pry, letting the small inconsistencies slide. It's late, I'm tired, and I just want to get this over with. Gotcha. Makes sense. Nice of your brother to lend you the car though, even if it did break down. A wave of relief seems to wash over his face, replaced by that easy, charming smile again, like a mask slipping back into place.
Couldn't agree more. He's a good guy.
I can't shake the feeling that I missed something, but I push it down. Observe him quietly. I glimpse at Ilya from the corner of my eye, trying to be subtle. He's staring out the window again. Can't read anything from his expression. Suddenly his head turns and he meets my gaze. His eyes are dark, reflecting the faint road like polished obsidian. There's a knowing glint there, as if he felt my eyes on him. A slow smile spreads across his face. It doesn't reach his eyes. Every bump in the road sends a jolt through my hands. I keep stealing glances at Ilya. He's unnaturally still. The green exit sign finally looms into view. My heart is hammering. The wipers are struggling to keep up. He hasn't stopped staring at me. His eyes, which were so expressive when I first picked him up, are now so flat. You're quiet now, huh? What's with the silent treatment, Ilya?
Why'd you pick me up if you're just gonna act like I'm a problem?
Because you're stranded in a snowstorm, Ilya. What else was I supposed to do? I didn't know how you were gonna act. I cut myself off. The words catching in my throat. I don't want to say it. I don't want to give it a name.
Act like what? Say it.
Weird. You're acting really freaking weird, man. My voice is rising. I don't like this. I'm trying to focus on the road, but he's right there staring at me, edging me on. And not in a good way either.
You talk like you're scared of me, Yandere. Like you're afraid of what I might do.
I'm not. Just shut the hell up, alright? Shut up and let me drive. Ilya snorts.
You're scared because you know I'm not just some random person. You knew the second you saw me.
What the hell does that even mean? My voice cracks. I hate that. I sound weak.
You think you're safe just because you're the one behind the wheel? Just because you're the one driving? You think you're in control?
Shit. Of course this happens when I decide to be a good Samaritan. Back the hell off, alright? I don't know what your deal is, but the ride is over once I hit the next turnout. You're walking. I'm gonna call the cops.
There's not gonna be a next turnout. Yandere?
He leans closer. His face suddenly too close. Instinctively, I flinch, pulling back against the seat, my gloved hand tightening on the wheel. Don't touch me, you asshole! His hand slams down on the wheel, yanking it hard to the right with impossible strength. Well, rip me, there he goes, grabbing my steering wheel. This is a bad idea. This is why we just shouldn't help people, even if they're cute. We learned a lesson when we pulled over the side of the road for Adam and you and him, and now we learn the lesson now when we pull over for Ilya. Crap! Goodbye, Yinny! Oh no! We begin tonight with a breaking news from the interstate. Tragic truck incident on the interstate. State police are investigating a fatal single-vehicle accident that occurred late last night during the heavy snow. A commercial truck registered to MNC Trucking veered off Interstate XX near the mile marker. The driver, identified as Yinny, was pronounced deceased at the scene. The vehicle was a total loss. Where's Ilya? There is no way he survived. The cause of the crash remains unclear, though investigators cite adverse weather as a primary factor. Currently, foul play is not suspected. They will be featuring a spokesman from MNC Trucking later today who will hopefully have more information for us regarding their safety protocols and condition of their fleet. It is currently unknown if the family of the victim, Yinny, intends to pursue legal action against MNC Trucking. Like how Daniel says, man goes wild over mozzarella cheese outside. Yeah, me too. Adding to the mystery, authorities confirmed there was a passenger in the vehicle at the time of the crash. However, their identity remains unknown. There are no records of a second occupant, and no friends or family have come forward to identify the individual or report them missing. Investigators are urging anyone with information regarding the passenger to contact the state police immediately. Okay, so Ilya was still there, so I guess we both died. In other news, the snowstorm has moved eastward, leaving behind record snowfall. Oh, that glitch at the end. Bad N1, unidentifiable wreckage. Well, there's a couple more things I want to test out, because we've gotten 6 endings so far, but we haven't figured out what happens if we just keep driving. Nope, nada, not getting involved. Too many weirdos out here on the roads. I squeeze the wheel tighter and fix my gaze forward, pretending I didn't see a damn thing. Shouldn't go looking for trouble. I press down on the accelerator, a little more firmly this time. The engine groans in response, settling back into its steady rumble. I force myself not to look in the rearview mirror, but I can't help it, and throw a quick glance anyway. In the glass framed by the truck's cabin, I see a shape rapidly diminishing. For a split second before he disappears completely, I could swear I saw his head turn, felt his eyes on the back of the truck. A prickle of something unpleasant nags at me. After a few minutes pass, I shake my head to clear it. Just gotta get this load delivered, nothing else matters right now. I'm alone in the truck just like any other night. Maybe that's for the best. Neutral N1. The Lonely Road. Ooh, there's bad N1 and neutral N1? That means there should be a neutral N2 that we're not getting then, right? Let's hunt around a little bit more. What happens when we say it's too risky? Look, I'm sorry about your car, I really am, but I asked around for a reason. Something doesn't quite add up, and honestly, taking on a passenger isn't something I can risk. Not with my job on the line. Good luck. Hope someone else stops for you. I roll the window back up. As I pull away, I can see the man shrink in my side mirror. His face is unreadable in the fading view, just a shape against the snow. And yet, a feeling of dread straggles in my heart for a moment. A feeling that I narrowly avoided something. I shake it off. After all, I made a practical choice. A sigh escapes my lips. Hope he finds another ride. Neutral N2. Cold shoulder. There we go. And I believe that's all the endings so far. And both continuations to Watch the Road, including some extra dialogue. This was so good. I've never actually played a yandere or like dark romance game where you pick up a hitchhiker. This was a really interesting premise and very, very well done because in the beginning, the music and the visuals and everything leads you to believe that Ilya is actually just really comforting. And the start of the game is actually very comforting. It's very cozy. It kind of elicits the same amount of emotion as like kind of like cozy horror games do. For example, like Dredge is quite cozy. Even A Night in the Woods is pretty cozy as well. Like that kind of feeling where something is very, very unassuming and comforting, but you know that there's something sinister lurking in the back. I think this does a really, really good job at eliciting that emotion. Ilya himself is so interesting. His appearance is so friendly on the outside. He just honestly seems like a normal guy, especially when he first approaches your truck. But the more you talk to him, you start to unravel little bits and pieces that's not quite right. Like the inconsistencies in the story. Like for example, like saying that he broke down at stop 70 when before he said 82 and 83. His avoidance about his family, because it's very likely that his family doesn't even exist. The fact that the car wasn't even there and he was just waiting there. So it's like, why was he there? Because he's very far from a lot of towns. Does he just hike out here to hunt for people? Is that what he does? So there is a lot I want to know more about him, especially in the motel and captivity route. I want to see what happens between both of the routes because they do branch off quite far. So I do know that this is a yandere game. And it does mention that there's like unhealthy relationships and like stalking and murder and kidnapping and also like obsessive like love. But the dev also does note that most of this intense content is going to be in the full release. So while we did get to see little bits of uncertainty and also the bad endings where he does kill us, I think the bulk of how Ilya is going to turn out as a villain is going to be shown in the next couple of updates, and I really, really can't wait. Like, I know there's like a tendency to sometimes want things to get into the thick of the action immediately, but honestly, I really like slow burn yandere and slow burn horror. It takes the time to break down your walls, make you relax. It gets you when you least expect it. So I love this. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part. And also, if you want exclusive content from me, such as exclusive playthroughs, uncut reactions to certain spicy scenes, and also spicy art that I draw, feel free to check out my Patreon. Link is in my description box below. It really does help to support the channel, and I'm very, very thankful for everybody who has helped out so far. But that's all for now. Thank you so much again for being here, and until next time, take care.